as we attempt to get through Wednesday. What is the agenda today, Annmarie?
The agenda today really is going to be about, on the Democrat side, figuring out if they're going to have the votes for this Thursday bipartisan infrastructure, the hard infrastructure. It doesn't seem like the progressives are going there just yet. There hasn't been a framework that they're able to sign up for and put those votes to. But really, the main thing today has to be to avoid a government shutdown by Friday morning. So potentially in the Senate, we can have a clean bill, which means there's no debt ceiling suspension attached to that, just to avoid a government shutdown, make sure Social Security checks go out, and we could potentially get a vote on that today.
Let me be the ancient cynic. They're going to get that fixed. Let's get back to the debate. As the Washington Post headlines today, they sum them together. We're talking $4 trillion large. We all know it's going to come down as well, but it's got to come down with negotiation. I don't see in our Bloomberg reporting negotiation.
Well, it's cagey right now, and it's elusive. You had Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Arizona's Kyrsten Sinema at the White House again yesterday for meetings with the president and the White House team, and there's no hard evidence coming out of those meetings that they have agreed to a top-line figure to really start getting a framework together that progressives can then say, we are happy with this, we can move forward on this, we can get the details done. So the president even canceling an engagement today in Chicago to make sure that he is squarely focused on the economic agenda. So Thursday's looking like it's going to be, tomorrow is going to be very, very tough vote. You already heard from Pramila Jayapal, the chair of the Progressive Caucus, saying we will vote for bipartisan infrastructure, but only when we have reconciliation. And it sounds like she has the votes to tank that bill that Speaker Pelosi says she's going to bring to the floor.
This gridlock comes with that October 18th deadline. We heard from Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, yesterday speaking to Congress, saying that that is when the United States would run out of money. How much is that a drop-dead date in terms of when Congress has to actually pass something?
So there was a lot of negotiations yesterday about potentially different avenues they could take. Senator Schumer was trying to get the Republicans, 100 senators would have to back up for this, but to just have a simple majority vote, meaning Democrats do it themselves, but not via reconciliation. And the Republicans pretty much tossed that idea. It does look like the Democrats are going to have to go this alone unless they take it to the brink and try to get Senator McConnell to come back on side, because they are at that point of a potential default. If they go via reconciliation, though, what that means is a little bit more cumbersome, a lot more labor-intensive, 2 rounds of Senate debates, vote-a-ramas into the evening, and that would take about 2 weeks' time. So that gives you a leeway if they were to start that today with about 5 days to October 18th, and it doesn't look like they're going to be starting that today.
Meanwhile, talking about Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, I'm curious about her position on Fed Chair Jay Powell, given the pushback that we heard from Senator Warren yesterday. How difficult will this be for President Biden to both get some of the progressives on his side while also figuring out who he wants in that seat come next year?
Quite an awkward moment, really, when you had Senator Warren calling Chair Powell, sitting next to Secretary Yellen, a, quote, dangerous man, saying she will not. Really, she signaled this a few times. This is the first time we heard it from her mouth, that she will not support that reappointment of Fed Chair Powell. It's another inconvenience for the Biden administration. They are trying to get the progressives on board with reconciliation and signing up for bipartisan infrastructure. So this is potentially one of those other headwinds. And we're talking about an October 18th deadline for the debt ceiling. But the Fed Vice Chair of Regulation, which Powell said yesterday, that's really the job when it comes to banking regulation, that leadership post is up October 13th. So really, we're going to be watching out to see if potentially there's going to be movement on that, because some thinking is that Governor Brainard potentially takes Mr. Quarles' position, and that would pacify the progressives like Senator Warren.
Annmarie, thank you.